But Lachie Neale joins us. Welcome, Lachie.
Thanks, Gerard. Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you on. How was Christmas and what have you been up to since?
It was good. I was pretty busy. I had a couple of weddings to attend, one in South Australia and one in Perth. So a bit of travel for Jules, Piper and myself. But it was busy, but it was great to catch up with family and friends. And since coming back, I got back to Brisbane on the 3rd, I think it was, and just been training since.
Yep.
The girls are still in Perth, so I'm batching it at the moment, which isn't going very well. I can't wait to have them back.
How's young Piper?
She's good. She's growing up very quickly. Starting to say a few words now. She's about 15 months. Not quite walking, but I don't think that's far away.
And Lachie, it's a great time of year for yourself in terms of you able to sort of just work through the summer, knowing what level you'll get to come round one. Starting the relationship with some new players, though, within the midfield structure. And I speak of Josh Dunkley, who I spent a day with at the Noosa Surf Club. He looks in fine shape at the moment. How's that relationship developing between the two of you?
Yeah, John, it's developing really well. He's a great guy, as you know, really professional. He's added a lot to our group already in terms of his standards and work ethic, and even his recovery stuff is second to none. So some of our younger guys are learning a lot off of him. And in terms of our relationship on field, really good. I feel like he's going to benefit our midfield greatly. He adds a point of difference with not only his sort of ball-winning ability, but his ability to mark the ball overhead and push forward and kick a goal as a mid or as a forward is really strong, and we've seen that already in the pre-season. Plus, his defensive attributes are going to complement our midfield superbly. So, can't wait to get stuck into a few games with him. We played a couple of 10-minute halves yesterday, which was sort of our first bit of real match play. Obviously, during drills you do a little bit, but actual match play, we got a quick look at that. I think he kicked a goal and took some really good overhead marks, so it's going to be exciting for us going forward.
Now, we're going to have to interrupt your answers a little bit along the way because Poprin has gone 6-all. We are into a tiebreaker. Poprin looking to win it if he can win this tiebreaker, and the number 6 seed, Taylor Fritz, he's looking just to stay in the tournament, and he's picked up the first point. So it's 1-0, 1-love to Fritz. Jono.
Feel free to chuck it on in the background, Lachie, so you can keep up to date as well in what's happening. It's pretty inspirational, from the young Australian. And look, when you speak of some youngsters on the list now, some key draftees that you picked up, midfielders in particular in Ashcroft and Fletcher, that competition for spots within the midfield structure is going to be quite strong. Yourself and Josh Dunkley, you got McCluggage as well, Lyons. All of a sudden, one or two may find themselves either they would like to play inside mid, but they might find themselves on a wing or even playing high half forward just through the amount of quality numbers you'll have going through there.
Yeah, that's it. We've got amazing depth through that part of the ground now, and I actually feel like through all three lines we've got really good depth. We added Connor McKenna half back. We know we've got Richie. Kitty Coleman sort of came into his own last year in that position, and young Darcy Wilmot has had a great pre-season as well, and we saw what he could do in the finals. So it's not only that mid-forward role, we've got competition for spots everywhere, and I actually had a chat with our general manager, Danny Daly, the other day, and he said that he tried to pick a best 22 for round one and found it extremely difficult. That's what we want, though, so I hate to be a coach trying to pick our team at the moment.
I'd hate to be Taylor Fritz right now. It's 1-1, Jono, and the big snap, crackle and Poprin. He's got the ball and he's looking to just belt one straight down the tee.
One player who would have been in your best 22 is Marcus Adams, and we feel for Marcus, obviously, with what he's going through, Lachie, and being out with the concussion issues that he has had to deal with. Now the talk goes to the replacement for Marcus Adams. What's happening at training? Who's the players that are starting to sort of stand up in that role? We think of Jack Payne straight away, but are there a couple others that we may be missing that could fill that role?
I think at the moment we've got Dara Joyce from, I think he was at St Kilda a couple of years ago as a tall back, so he's training with us at the moment. I think that I don't really know the rules, but I'm guessing that Marcus going on that list means we can sign someone onto the list.
Yep.
So I think he's sort of competing for that spot, and there's a couple of other Queenslanders, Harry Arnold, who's played in our VFL team, who's a tall defender who's shown a fair bit of promise, who will be competing for that spot as well, I think. So we've got a couple of choices there. We've got Darcy Gardner, who we know can play on a tall or a small. So there's going to be a couple of options there, hopefully, for us if they can all stay healthy.
Well, they've both won a point since I last reported. It's 2-2, and it's on serve with Fritz to have one more before they switch over, Jono.
As you can pick here, Lachie, that Gerard just likes reading the tennis scores, and I'll ask you all the questions. But when you look at the Gabba and the fortress you're creating, you're going to enjoy playing your footy this year, because it's going to be packed out every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Our fans have sort of come in numbers over the last few years, and I think last year we were lucky enough to sell the Gabba out 7 or 8 times throughout the year. So it's remarkable how much AFL has grown in Queensland, and it's a credit to our supporters for coming out when we know that rugby is probably the preferred sport here, but hopefully that tables are turning there and AFL takes over as the number one sport.
Popperin just framed one, unfortunately, Lachie. And so it's now Taylor Fritz 3-2 with the favourite. He's got his girlfriend in the box, and she is really concerned. She's got a really concerned look on her face. Can I ask you about the centre wicket? We need a campaign to start in Brisbane. I think Sydney's going to be a trouble, but the Gabba, given it's going to be refurbished or rebuilt with the Olympics, it's time, I think, that we got ourselves a drop-in wicket there just for the health and safety. Or do they do it well enough for you not to worry?
I like it because it gives us a sort of point of difference, and we get to train there. So it gives us a bit more of a home ground advantage, I suppose. We get to do centre bounces on there a little bit more often than some other teams. I can't really remember anyone getting a concussion or anything from that pitch in my time. I could be wrong there, but it can be a little bit dangerous. I think when you're tackling on that surface, you do have to be mindful of it, because if you do hit the head there, it's going to hurt. I've been unfortunately put on my back there a couple of times, but fortunately not my head, and it is very hard. So we do have to be a bit careful through that area. 3-3.
Have you? Do they water it enough to soften it? And if so, does it get slippery and tacky at all?
I think last year was the best that it's been. There was really good grass cover over it through the AFL season, and that was the best that it's been. It was soft enough and had really good grass cover that did give you a little bit of padding when you fell there. But in previous years, if it rains and hardens up, sometimes like that mud thickens and it gets really, really hard and can be slippery as well.
Back in the day, the centre bounce when there was no circle, it used to go 30, 40 metres in the air. So
Plus there was no grass at the MCG.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
exactly
like concrete.
right.
It was a disaster.
That's right. Now, Lachie,
4-3 to Fritz.
We see, and we do love when some fans don't, when the songs are played after goals. Do you have a song of choice that will get played when you kick a goal?
Well, I don't kick that many goals, so I don't know what song it is. But at the start of the year, we do put one through, and I think if you don't put one through, they pick one for you. Because I know Link McCarthy had Justin Bieber one year, and I don't think he's ever listened to Justin Bieber in his life.
That is brilliant. Now you've got the excitement of this game, but also the new facility, Lachie. It must be good knowing that you're walking into an environment that is now world class. It's your own. You've got your own ground training facilities to be able to perfect your craft.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Out at Brighton Homes Arena, they've named it, so it's a fantastic facility, world class, and something that Brisbane has never had before. If you walk through the Gabba and then come out to Brighton Homes Arena, you'll see such a difference. It's crazy. We've got everything there for us now, and no excuses for the guys to get in. Recovery, extras, goal kicking. We can use the field whenever we want. It's our home now, which is fantastic. So it's a credit to the club and all the hard work they've done to get that done, but also to our fans and members as well for tipping in money too to help raise that money for that facility. It's fantastic.
Popperin is 4-5 behind, but it's on serve. He's got one before he turns it over. In fact, he's got two to get himself back in this match. Can I ask you about yourself, Lachie? Last year, you were extraordinary your pre-season. You fronted up a little bit lighter. Your running power was through the roof. It's gone to 5-all, by the way. Where are you at the present time, and what have you set for your personal goals?
I feel at that level, which I was last year. I sort of maintain that fitness base through the off season, and my body is feeling really good. I was a little bit sore to end the season, so I had a little bit of lighter work the first couple of weeks of running, but because I had that sort of fitness base from the previous year, I was able to catch that up really quickly. I feel like, I'm moving well. Body's good. My personal goals, number one is to win a premiership and to do what I can to improve guys around me and bring everyone up to speed on how we want to play, because we do have a fair few new faces and some guys that will roll through the midfield, Dunks, and obviously Will Ashcroft as well. I think he'll probably get some minutes through there. He's training really well. And just trying to bring guys like Healy and Gerard Berry, Dev Robertson, these guys along as well, and just trying to push them to be the best player that they can be. Individual goals, I haven't really set them just yet. I'm more focused on the team.
Well, just hold on a sec, Lachie. It's match point for Alex Popperin, and Jono, he's just sliced one into the net, so it's back 6 apiece. Well, you couldn't have got off to a better start last year yourself personally. I mean, your form was absolutely phenomenal, and that lure of picking up that bit of silverware, first one in Brisbane for a long time, would be absolutely driving everybody. And you must feel thrilled that you've picked up a couple of other players to support you through that middle of the ground.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we've got a really strong list now, but we know that doesn't get it done. We've got to put the hard work in over the next sort of 6 or 7 weeks to prepare us for the home and away season, and then just try and finish as high up on the ladder as possible. And hopefully we're playing our best footy towards the end of the year and build synergy throughout the year and get a bit of luck with injuries and all sorts go into it. But it's been a while since the Lions have held up the cup, but hopefully in 2023 we can do it again.
Lachie, we talk about Dunks a lot because of what he will do in combination with yourself, but did it surprise you when all of a sudden Jack Gunston's name just rolls around to be joining you on the list?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, and there was a few names that were floated to us. I think Buddy Franklin got mentioned at one stage as well.
Jono spread
that. we all love Buddy, Lachie.
Yeah, we do. But to have a guy like Gunners is fantastic for our footy club and our forwards. We've actually got a really young forward line, and he had some really good experience. His game knowledge is second to none. That's probably something I didn't know about him. His knowledge of the game is fantastic. Could be the best on our list. And his forward craft, he's a really crafty player, and he's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, he's not the fittest, but he's probably the smartest. So he's going to be a great addition to our team, not only for our on-field but off-field stuff as well.
Lachie, great to have you on board. Fantastic that you're ready to go 100% after a magnificent season, as good as any midfield season that we've seen. You got pipped on the post in the Brownlow, but you were unbelievably good. So we appreciate your time tonight and look forward to another Lions big season this year.
I appreciate the kind words, guys, and thanks for having me on once again.